Hi, everyone. Last month, I had a migraine so severe that I considered jumping off a cliff to feel better. The hidden culprit? MSG, which stands for monosodium glutamate, that had been sprinkled all over the box of popcorn I inhaled the night before at our local county fair. It didn't dawn on me until the next morning of the horrible mistake that I had made. There was a time in my life when I could consume anything I wanted without any ill effect, including the most toxic popcorn. But now that my body is older and I'm attempting to have a cleaner diet, my liver's ability to process toxins has become even more sensitive. The slightest little toxin can send me over the edge. MSG, an additive used to enhance flavor and preserve food, ironically does nothing to preserve the health of the body. With some controversial origin stories of its use in the United States, MSG not only makes food more savory, but it's quite addictive. Many people struggle with this additive without even realizing it because it's infiltrated nearly every corner of our overly processed food supply. Fast foods, frozen meals, processed snacks, and canned soups. If you suffer from chronic headaches and don't know why, I encourage you to keep a food diary. Consult with a health practitioner and look further into MSG. But while you're at it, I must forewarn you that there's a more poisonous toxin that we must be aware of. And it's not the addictive MSG, but it's our addiction to convenience. We'll dive in right after this break. You are listening to the Work Life Eubiosis podcast with your host, Charleston Edwards. If this is your first time here, welcome. My goal is simple: to eradicate burnout and to bring harmony, purpose, and balance to this world, starting with the family. My hope is that this show and the story shared will provide encouragement and ideas that will be valuable to you on your journey to work-life freedom. So let's dive in to today's episode. As society progresses, the rat race gets faster. Hello, AI. We have been unknowingly conditioned to go at inhumane speeds, which creeps into the rest of our lives. The creep of overwhelm leads to overindulging in the conveniences of this world. MSG is symbolic of our unhealthy pace, not only with our food, but also with how we live. Our world is literally fueled by the rat race diet, full of MSGs and other chemicals that were never meant to be consumed by our bodies. From technology to Taco Bell, we have all made compromises for speed. A recent Wall Street Journal revealed that 55% of American calories come from processed foods. Combine that with our overly stressed lives, it's no surprise that over 90% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy. Additives, artificial chemicals, preservatives, and ultra-processed foods are directly linked to heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and chronic diseases. Though these foods feed our reward centers in our brains, the addictive focused foods deteriorate our cells from the inside out. Fortunately, our bodies are resilient and are designed to heal. But that's no reason to continue the abuse. The body keeps the score. Stress will always be a part of life, but it takes daily intentionality to overcome toxicity in our food, in our calendars, and in our work. To overcome the chronic stress, we must change our mindset and slow down the pace of our lives. We must chase contentment and purpose and service. The slow lane looks different for everyone, but it exists for everyone. And it's the slower lane that leads to a fuller, healthier, and more satisfying life. We can love our popcorn, we can love our work, but add toxins to either, we burn out. Toxicity takes on many different forms in our workplaces. But the one that often gets overlooked is speed. Even in the best of companies that are doing everything right, speed is the downfall. We want results now, not later. We want to race to beat the competition. This mindset wears out the humans churning behind the scenes, especially when the loads we are carrying can't move that fast. I get it. Some of us are high achievers. Some people thrive in high-speed environments. But this is not natural for our bodies, especially in the long term. For those who are allergic to toxic breakneck speeds, a high-pressure workplace can make us feel like jumping off the career ladder. We saw this in the Great Resignation, as millions reassessed their values, workloads, flexible schedules, and health. People realized that there is more to life than the 9 to 5, which was stealing everything we valued from 5 to 9. Cal Newport, the author of Slow Productivity, I love that name, by the way, attributes burnout to the mass production workflows set up in the 1920s. In his book, Slow Productivity, Newport points back to Henry Ford's impact on the Industrial Revolution and the acceleration of machinery, which led to the 40-hour workweek. However, as we advance mass communications, economic growth, and urban expansion, the nature of work changed, but our definition of productivity remained the same. We still work as if we are on the conveyor belt. The rules of the 40-hour work week have stuck with our society for nearly 100 years. Before factories, before technology, before screens, before social media, before all of the luxuries and conveniences of life, we humans lived by a different set of value systems. Somewhere along the way, we went from utilizing work as a means to provide for ourselves to work being a source of pride. Our social platforms have hoodwinked us into thinking that we have to keep up with the Joneses. Take 2 minutes to scroll on any social platform, especially LinkedIn, and we can quickly see how our social trophy case has been normalized. Highlight reels are great, but it's a quick way to lose contentment. Our social channels feed us lies that we have to do more, be more, instead of showing us that we already have value, no matter what we do. The thief of joy is comparison. And when we compare, we can't truly enjoy our life, our work, nor our popcorn. This episode is brought to you by Own Your 5 to 9, an organization committed to freeing families of the rat race and burnout. Every organization has a leader, mission, and a set of values that drives the organization. But this is commonly missed in the most important organization in the world, the family. An organization has one mission for how it will impact the world. Why not the family? An organization goes into strategic planning routinely to align its values, mission, and projects. Why not the family? Whose Home, a strategic planning guide for families, is a workbook and a tool needed in all households. Whose Home takes a strategic planning approach with 10 guided exercises to define your core family values, family mission, and tools to operationalize how your family does life together. If your family is facing a big decision, Whose Home is for you. If you're considering a career pivot, Whose Home is also for you. If you desire more intentionality and harmony in your home, Whose Home is for you. Create a healthy culture, not a hustle culture, at home. Visit ownyour5to9.com to claim your copy today. As mentioned earlier, our bodies are resilient. I also frequently tell people that it's never too late to start a new journey. As long as we have breath in our lungs, we can heal and fight off toxicity of our hustle culture and our rat race diets. For the sake of this podcast, I've attempted to summarize a few of the helpful practices that have helped me combat the toxins of life. Perhaps some of these will be helpful to you in your pursuit to healing. So here's 6 ways to reduce work-life toxicity. Number 1, reevaluate your why. At the root, your life was designed on purpose and for a purpose. There's never a bad time to get back to ground zero of why you're in a room and how you were designed to contribute to the situations and events that you encounter. This revelation of identity, not based on anything you've done, makes it easier when the hard days come knocking. Number 2, reevaluate your boundaries. Do you know your quota? Sometimes we need to just say no thank you, or not right now. Identify what drains your energy or anything that is not in alignment with what you should or want to be doing. Then take steps to eliminate or reduce them one by one. Batch the things that you don't want to do consistently so it takes up less time on the calendar. And along the same lines, exercise time blocking and choose the most important thing to get done within that allotted block. Number 3, reevaluate your calendar. Theming each day of the week is significantly undervalued for its productivity. For over a decade, as both a full-time worker and an entrepreneur, I have tackled the week by theming my days. Mondays are for creative work and no meetings. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are for meetings and admin work. Thursdays are for family and homeschooling. Fridays is for pushing out content and connecting with friends. The point is, find a theme to your work day and your work week and categorize each day so that your brain doesn't have to shift every hour and make your hours spent less efficient. Number 4, reevaluate your diet. There's no time better than now to read labels. Processed foods are getting exposed for what they really do to our bodies. Fortunately, human bodies have natural detoxification systems, but as we age, these systems can wear down. So do your homework. Our food choices impact our energy, productivity, and how we show up in this world. And if you want to reset and don't know where to start, please reach out to me, and I could give you some additional resources. Number 5, reevaluate your social channels. Social is great for entertainment, sometimes education, and definitely for connection. But it's a magnet for comparison, which is a thief of joy, which I mentioned earlier. Unconsciously, most of our actions are dictated by something we have seen or heard. So guard your eyes and ears, and also be sensitive to what you post that could potentially entrap or hurt others. And number 6, reevaluate your stress life. Breath work, grounding with your bare feet in the morning, getting morning sunlight, routine exercise, nature walks, laughing, prayer, journaling, hugs, cuddling a pet, making a gratitude list, listening to music, sleeping longer, or taking an afternoon nap are just a few nuggets for reducing stress. If you find yourself frequently complaining, grumbling, or frowning, then take a pause and choose one of these nuggets to reset and bring into your daily habits. A healthy thought life is some of the best medicine that we can take. Stress and some level of speed will always be a part of life, but it does not mean that it needs to be our state of being. Make it your mission to be less busy, naturally paced, and on purpose in any room that you walk into. And lastly, don't forget to watch out for what you put on your quote-unquote popcorn. You don't want to ruin a good thing. Thank you for listening to the Work-Life Eubiosis podcast, part of the Work-Life resources created by Own Your 5 to 9. I hope that you have found encouragement and a few ideas to strengthen your journey to purpose, freedom, and balance. Have you overcome burnout and found a new way of life? Millions around the globe are still at the risk of burnout and losing it all. And your story may be the one that sparks not only a dream, but action. Visit ownyour5to9.com for more information and submit your story. While you're there, join the Work Life Eubios' newsletter and receive additional resources weekly right to your inbox. If you enjoy this podcast, take time to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Share it with a friend or loved one. Remember, the most important organization in the world is the family. Let's do our part to strengthen it. Thank you for listening.